Hi, everybody. Good morning. It is Saturday, May 23rd, 2020. And today we are working. So, the two videos we got today, we are actually just working on the panel. When I say working on the panel, I mean the actual physical panel pieces. Working on those. And actually, we're also going to be pulling out some swatch colors here in just a second. So, it's going to be pretty cool. When I say working on the panel pieces, so right, originally I'd done a mock-up for the panel just so I could see like, oh, where's the Garmin instruments going? Where could this go? Blah, blah, blah. And I made it out of just some old scrap aluminum that I had laying around, right? Uh, and of course the job was sloppy and didn't really fit and didn't have any drill holes, holes drilled specifically for the proper places. So we're fixing all that. But first, see those little swatches up on the bench? Those are samples for the interior. There's leather, there's carpet. As you know, the inside of the cockpit is a nice, it's not a warm gray, it's not a cool gray, it's a nice neutral gray. Well, we're going to make the rest of the cockpit neutral too, obviously, as you can see. I don't want to give the spoilers away. I'll show you pictures when the seats get here, which will be sometime next month. Alright, so what we're really working on is, like I said, the panel. I want to be able to start getting some of these switches in. It's important because with the wiring essentially done, well, at this point, with it essentially being done, I got to figure out how to start wiring up all these switches and things onto the dash. And the old version of the panel that you can see me fiddling with there, while it was nice, just wasn't right. Right, so the hole for the G3X display wasn't right. I tried drilling some switches for some holes for some switches. They were the wrong height, so it didn't really fit. It just didn't scream at me. So we're just taking some extra aluminum. So I ordered a few pieces of some 60 thousandths tempered, and we are making some more beefy and sweet versions. Actually, starting with the one that you see right there. So that was the one I was kind of working on last week, and I said that I'd start fiddling with some switches that were also breakers. Well, those are in, right? And I'm going to use those. I am. So I'm going to be using breaker switches for things like, taxi landing lights and navs and strobes, right? Because, extra 5 amp breakers for no reason just seem ridiculous. Okay, plus, honestly, I don't really have a lot of room in that circuit panel that you see me working on forever, so yeah. This is a good way to avoid that. Plus, it avoids extra wiring, right? Because you got to go from, let's say, you got to go from your battery to a power distribution bar. From the power distribution bar, you got to go to the circuit breaker. Then from the circuit breaker to a switch, and then the switch to the actual load. In this case, it was lights. And then from the lights back to the ground. Right? What if we could just take one of those pieces out? Alright, go from the bus bar to the breaker switch. Then from the breaker switch to the lights. So that's a much more amenable way to do it. Let's see. News updates. Well, it's May 23rd. As everyone might remember, 3 years ago today, we embarked on this little... Oh, God, I hate using the word journey. It's a journey. But yeah, so we started on this journey 3 years ago today. Amazing, isn't it, how time flies? Secondary update. So my friend who's having work done on his plane and let me use his hangar for a little bit, he came by yesterday and finished cleaning everything out. So now, this is what we have. Look at that. So now it's time to actually get a little bit of some real work done. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the place that we've got it here, but as you notice, there's a lot of planes that come in and out of this hangar. And unfortunately, as soon as I put the gear on, that fuselage goes up a foot, which basically means it's hitting the wings, so can't have that. Plus, we got 2 low wings in the club, and our mechanic is going to be going over both of them. One's just an inspection, but then the second one's actually getting a panel redo, so that's going to be months and months, so I've got no place to put that. I would have to have either, hung it from the ceiling or, I don't know. So good news all around. Yeah, so ultimately, these panel pieces that I'm working on, like I said, because if I don't cut them absolutely perfect, because this is what everyone's going to be seeing all the time when they're in the plane. Like if the switches don't line up and stuff like that, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind up just getting a version of SolidWorks. It's a software package that it's basically a CAD package, and you can get it from the EAA. You can get a student version from the EAA. I will simply take the spec files from Vans, because Vans has all the panels or the panel dimensions in their own specific files just for this CAD files. I will take those and I will lay out all my button holes, and I will just have someone laser cut the damn thing. Anyway, so in the next video, we're just going to keep on working on this, on the panel and the little boxes for the back holding all the avionics, and we'll talk about some, we'll do a little ranting sort of as well. So thanks for joining me. See you soon.